you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that at the moment I don't have a layout. This is due to space and where I'm currently staying, but very soon I hope to start doing a layout, so I'm going to get ahead with some planning. To do that, I'm going to try a couple of pieces of software. I'm going to try AnyRail, and I'm also going to try out SCARM again. I've done a video on SCARM before, so let's start with AnyRail and see how we get on. Okay, so I've already opened up AnyRail, and I've gone into track libraries, 00, and then Pico Streamline Code 100. This gives me all of the pieces from Code 100. So I envisage my layout to be roughly in the place of Dundee, so it will be a station one along from Dundee and essentially before the Tay-Rail Bridge. So I'll have two ways of getting south from my station. So I'll need a complex layout of some points to be able to do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these out first to get the distance between the tracks. So there we go. So we've got the distance between the tracks, which should be the same as the 6-foot way gauge that we get from Pico. These pieces are a bit difficult to move around. So that's the first point, so that will allow anything that's going north to cross over. And in the station I'm going to have 4 platforms, 2 through platforms and 2 terminating platforms. So anything coming from Glasgow can terminate in one of the terminating platforms. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to need is a way to get onto the sort of bypass of the station. I want that to come after we've got our crossover. So I'm thinking that I'm going to need something now. You see, it's difficult to get this to join onto there. And so that will allow down traffic to go onto platform 4. So we'll do that just now, and we essentially need that to bend around. And we also need, similarly, So when it goes red like this, it means that it's too long for a single piece of flipped track. And the red line means it's too tight. Okay. So and then I think what I want is the ability there. So that gives us the ability for anything to come from Glasgow or Perth, across into the centre, anything from Perth to go into platform 4, anything from Edinburgh or Fife into platform 4 or bypass. Okay. So let's make these. So to cut the track, you right click and go cut track. Then select the piece you've just taken off. And then disconnect. And that will take that away. And then you can then stretch that one out to fit that. And I'm going to do the same. I'll cut that a bit smaller. Disconnect it. And then connect it in there. So that makes that continuous. So the way I'm going to do my boards is I'm essentially going to have the tracks, or try and have the tracks ending in the middle of the board. So this is essentially going to be one of my baseboard modules, which will allow me to do stuff with the actual module and move them about if I need to. So we'll pop that there just now. In fact, we'll disconnect that and remove that, and we'll pop the other point in. So it's an SL92, so an SL91. Okay, so these will then become my terminating platforms. So roughly enough space for a 4-car DMU. Probably to save space, it'll be a 2-car DMU that'll be the maximum length there. And then what we need is I need to diverge these slightly more, obviously to give space for the actual platform in there. And then we can bend this around. Okay. And then the next, so this is our freight loop or passing loop. And again, I want to have those at the rough spacing for my 6-foot way, which might make this a little bit more curved. There's no easy way to that I found to measure the 6 foot other than to put a crossing in. So that's what I'm going to do at the other end, is I'll put a crossing in, and that will give me my definite and I should be able to copy and paste just the same, Control C, Control V, which will paste the same piece of track. So what I'm going to do is get the SL 91 on there, and another SL 91 facing the other way. Now I'm going to delete these once I've done them. In fact, what I might have to do is there really is no easy way of getting the gauge on this. Okay, so just go through so this platform should be long enough for an 8 car with 2 locos, the length of the HST or the length of the Azuma. Whereas these platforms do end. We are given buffer stops, but they just waste pipe pieces. I only have 50 to play with, and so obviously we need to be quite efficient with what we're doing. So there we go, and we'll pop in another one there. Now I'm not sure if I'm even going to be able to make the station this long. Doing it virtually does give me the ability I can dream big and then scale back. And obviously track at the moment is very difficult to come by, so I need to see exactly what track I've got and what track I might need to be able to do this. I am looking to do this module on its own to start with and build up the station and some of the scenery around it, and then work from there. So the next part is to bring us back together at the other end of the station, into the 2 lines that head north. So I'm just copying that to give me the ability to get the gauge, and I know what I need point for this side, and then it's going to be SL92 on that one. So that gives me where I'm going to be connecting my flex track up to. And now that I've got that in, take them back out and then pop another one in. So there we go, there is the layout that I look like I'm going to have for my platforms. So as I say, this is a fictitious station which is based on the Dundee station but isn't quite, but does have the two routes going south and the one route going north. Take them out and they could be replaced by flex track. The good thing about this is it does give a list of materials that I need. So it does say that for this it would be 21 pieces of SL102. Somewhere I've grabbed the wrong one. So 21 pieces of flex track. That would probably could be cut down because I will make the station itself slightly smaller. Probably going with 4-car HST with the 2 power cars and the 2 cars in here. So that was it done in any rail. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and do the same thing in so I've now opened up SCARM and the software is fairly similar. So first of all, we'll just check and get our streamline and set track. So if we've got all of the streamline and set track. So ST codes mean set track and SL means that we've got streamline. So we'll start off with exactly the same. Now with this one it's slightly easier to connect up the pieces. As you select the end that you want and then you select the next piece and then it gives you the entry point. So the entry point there is that one and then we'll go for an SL concrete there and then okay, so it has made those bend round, but we know that they're just going off the board. So the next thing that I need to do is put in my crossover. So again, we'll get our going between two programs at once does sometimes cause issues. So SL92. In fact, we did the crossover there, didn't we? So let's see if we've got the crossover. There we go. SL92. And then from here we've got some flex track to there. And then we'll have an SL92. Straight through and flex track. So here we've got no indication on how tight these radiuses are. We can split and then delete and do the same. And delete that, and then we can delete these, and I'll do the same here and get rid of these stupid curves. Okay, so we can see that we've got virtually the same as what we had before. I must say I am thinking that any rail is a bit easier to use. And we can go into the 3D view from here as well. So I think I'll continue with any rail because this is a lot more difficult to use and to show you the process of